Welcome to the Openly Expressive podcast. On the mic, certified life coach from Brooklyn. She don't sugarcoat nothing. Straight truth, no chaser. Grab your snacks, unpack your feelings, and go get you some tissues. Just dive into some issues. Tap in, tune in, let the journey begin. Thanks for tuning in. Openly Expressive.
The fact that she know how to stay in your life for the rest of your life without being in your life. Like, that's some different type of power. When you talk about a woman, if you really get a chance to know that woman is different.
I think she might be one of the most accountable women I ever met in my life. Like, she's so evolved. Like, she was the most incredible she was like what you would want a woman to be.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Openly Expressive. I am your host, Naisha. Today is November 14th. 2025. How are you doing, my babies? I know that the previous episode that I had recorded was like in the summertime, honeys, and I am so sorry. I'm trying to do better. I will do better, but just bear with me. Your girl has been going through life, and life has been lifing. It hasn't been lifing too much though. I've been doing okay, but let's get into it, y'all. I am or was in a relationship with a rapper, a well-known rapper, and I guess that's a no longer thing because we haven't spoken in weeks. Aww. And it was something that was workoutable, but to each his own. And I, like a fool, texted and called, overly played my position. So last week, I accidentally called him because my call log was open and I was trying to clear it out. And I was like, fuck no. I hope this man don't think that I was calling him, because after a while, I just gave up. So I texted him like, yeah, I called you by accident. That was the call log issue. I was so devastated. My ass didn't even clear out the call log. So I'm in my call log yesterday, trying to call my son or whoever I was trying to call up in there. Called him again on Instagram this time. I'm like, ain't no fucking way. This guy probably think I'm just on his ass like white and rice. That was last week, my friend, this week, and things like that. No. It wasn't even like that. You're welcome to call and text or whatever, but I stopped that already. So there's that, because I normally don't be doing shit like that unless I'm invested, and I was invested, and so was he, supposedly. The L word had got tossed around. I got mad at him before. He was displaying certain triggers. I was trying to break up with him like last month or so, and he overly called and overly texted. I ignored him, but it was for like one day. And then I forgave him. So for him to drag it out this long, it's just it's a wrap. I wish it wasn't, but it is what it is, okay? And you just have to learn how to move on, honey. Y'all know I love to give word of advice. So, word of advice is when curtains are closed, you must leave the stage, And it's okay. It's okay to entertain another play. But I would just say, when you decide to get on another stage and have a co-star with you, that you have a healthy co-star with you, mentally healthy and physically, of course, because it just stings when you are attracted and attached to people and they just don't give a fuck about how you feel or how they're gonna make you feel. That's one thing we have to stop doing. We have to stop giving people the power of saying that they made us feel a certain way, when ultimately their actions led up to the way that we felt. No, you are in control of your emotions. They just play a part in it, okay? So that's that. He's a Leo, just like the other guy, and I am attracted to that sign clearly because supposedly we are sister signs. We are very much alike, but where we do differ is the ego is like crazy. And they think they're bigger than the program. And I mean, some people say that Aquariuses have egos and things like that, but mine is not to that extreme. And like, if I don't like you, I can completely cut you off. It's not a thing. But if I have feelings for you, it might take me a while. But these Leo characters, they don't have a problem with just disposing. When they still do like you though, like they still have a feeling for you, but they'll just discard it and pop in and back in. I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. And okay, yeah, my feelings are a little, I don't know, but it just seems like part 2 of dating an avoidant and a narcissist. And I don't deserve that, So with me, you get quality, you get love, devotion, dedication, you get a down-ass chick, smarts, I'm pretty, I have accolades. Speaking of my accolades, guys, I had just received my life coach certificate, so I am a certified life coach. Also, I am certified in the Intro to Psychology from Yale University. I took a course with them in March. I didn't even brag, y'all. I didn't even really tell nobody because a lot of people don't really pat me on the back. So I keep certain things to myself and away from certain people. The people that I did tell these things to, they weren't really proud. They didn't even give a fuck. So that's why I fucked with this rapper Hard Body, because he used to give me my props and shit, you know? Also, I will be a neuro-linguistic practitioner in another week. My role as a neuro-linguistic practitioner is to guide individuals to change their thoughts, behaviors, and communication to achieve personal and professional goals. I help my clients reframe limiting beliefs, improve self-confidence, manage emotions, and develop new positive habits through specific techniques and coaching. So, you know how there are certain individuals that don't know how to communicate effectively. I used to be one of those people. I used to talk over people and not let a person get their point across or whatever, but that was because I was stopping them from putting their foot in their mouths or accusing me of something I wasn't doing. But you know, in my studies, in my certifications, learning, and now as me being a teacher of my learnings, I am mastering the art of these things. I'm not perfect, but I'm realizing, let people say what they're going to say. Let them get out what they want to get out. Don't interrupt, but also help them along the way. Okay? Let them realize, think about what you're going to say before you say it, basically. So I can guide you in that. I think moving forward with me being in relationships, I can do my part, and hopefully whoever the receptor of it is, of my teachings, they're actually willing to take heed. And I don't mean to like do it as like a hierarchy, thinking that I'm better than someone. It's just basically shit. If I have the knowledge to help you, help. Take. I'm thinking about putting relationship coach under my belt, being a certified relationship coach. Cause man, I could sure give out tidbits and things on how to maneuver relationships and teach people how to be successful in it. But damn, I don't even know how to be in it. That's because of my daddy issues, and I cling to ninjas too fast when they show me a little bit of love, breadcrumbing me, love bombing me, all of that shit, right? You know? Toxic shit that lures people in, and the web of a narcissist. You know, you get caught up in there because they have a little je ne sais quoi and things like that, and charismatic and all these other things, and then they just hit you with the booby like, yeah, I'm gonna sell you false hope and dreams and promises and all of this shit for success, love, happiness, and you know, longevity, and then they just pull the rug from under you. This thing called life is something else, okay? You put all of your love, dedication, loyalty, and trust ultimately into people, and they just don't appreciate it, you know? And it's kind of hard because the mask that many people wear, or as I said in another episode, that representative that people present themselves with in the beginning of meeting someone, you know, you fall for that. And then when the L word, or you being physical with a person, and before you all start trying to put two and two together, no, I did not sleep with that man yet. And I just say yet. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but that didn't happen. That kind of blurs the lines, because then people start really showing their ass. And it's so crazy because love is vulnerable, and revealing that you are in love with someone or that you love someone, that is a sweet, vulnerable, endearing thing. And it's just like, how could you betray someone who never really did you dirty? My daddy issues run deep. And certain males, mommy issues or lack of dad, aka daddy issues, run deep as well. And that manifests and plays out into their adulthood and their relationships. And then us females have to pay for the bulk of their shit, of their trauma that they never addressed or don't even recognize that they have trauma. And the males have to pay for females being scorned. So it's a double-edged sword. It just seems like both parties are going to get hurt, the unhealed parties. And I'm on my healing journey, so I've been on my self-love journey, and it's great. It feels amazing. So the demise of this part 2 of being with an avoidant and emotionally unavailable male, I'm not going to say his name. It is what it is, but I'm kind of let down though. I'm not even gonna lie, because I really liked him. I just really liked him, and he fed things into me that other men didn't. So that is what had me clinging to him. He presented himself to be an all around stand-up guy. And it seemed like he cherished me and loved me and things, but I don't know. You never know what's going on in someone's head until they express it. So he expressed those admirations and love and care and, concern and regard for me, but then when he just did this disappearing act, it doesn't seem so. The actions are not matching up to the words. And he was big on saying communication is key in relationships, all of these things that women want to hear and accurate things, but your actions are just not showing that you are that guy that you portrayed yourself to be. So, I'm not crushed like I was with the other guy, the other Leo, because that Leo had conditioned me to be put together instead of ripping apart at the seams and falling to pieces and being in a fetal position. He definitely positioned me for the next guy who was going to seemingly not really give a fuck and not be a man of his word and not have his actions completely match up to his words. So shout out to you. Right? Shout out to you for preparing me for the bullshit for the next guy. It's just crazy how life works, and you put your trust into people and they just shit on you. So I'm just tired of being someone's toilet. Because I'm a great catch. I am a wonderful woman. And I'm not even going to say girl or chick. I'm a wonderful woman. I come with depth. And I think a lot of men don't appreciate that. And with this person, he did. It seemed, because I can't say he did, because if he did, he would still be here. So, a lot of men are not used to a down ass chick. A lot of men are not used to brains and a woman that is on her shit and about herself. And he seemed to have thought that he was, but apparently not. Because if you could just walk away from a person like me over a little tiff or whatever, that just shows your character, and that just shows that you're not ready for a person like me, and you're also not ready for a woman that has boundaries. And if you cross it, there's consequences, and then you get mad. That's some like wild shit to me. That's childish. And I always thought that was childish when a grown-ass man walks away without any type of closure, and they don't even realize that hurts, and that can be catastrophic to someone who was all in. But to each his own, and some people are just selfish that way. They don't even want to close the door. They'll just leave it open. So I don't know if the door is left open when people do that for them to walk back in, or the door is just left open because they have no manners and they just didn't want to lock the door. Like, you know what? That's not my house. I don't care. I lost the keys. I'm gonna just leave the door open, and I don't give a fuck who break it the next time it hurt you or harm you when they enter. Not my problem. There's those type of people too, But anyway, that's that. It is what it is. I do miss him, and if you hear this, I do. So I'm not gonna lie. The other guy, the past tense guy, we stay 5 minutes away, and he tried to spin the block. You know how many times he discarded of me and over the 5 years, and we loved each other, and he just didn't ever know how to show it. He wasn't fully invested in. I'm tired of giving the whole of myself to someone when they're just willing to give me only pieces. If you can't be whole with me, it's no longer, I'm not going to keep letting you take pieces of me to seemingly make you whole if that's what you're trying to do. But I can't do it anymore. And I told him that I'm on this self-love journey, this healing journey that I am on. It is allowing me to see how fucking dope I am. Okay. And y'all, I went to a Sierra concert. She took my phone and she recorded like a concert on my phone, and I was like the main character of the concert besides the celebrity. Okay. Russell Wilson was there. We was like in damn near touch distance, and I was on the stage. I literally could sit my ass on the stage with Sierra. She was really feeling me, right? I have footage of that. If you guys are on my TikTok page, is Skinty Honey, SKINNTEAHUNNI, and Openly Expressive, and remove the E from the beginning of expressive and underscore at the end of the word. I think I'm gonna just change all of my handles to the same exact name because it would make sense. And with my coaching business, I'm going to probably call that Openly Expressive Coaching Services. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna have all of this stuff up and running, so if you guys need some coaching, my babies, y'all can go to my landing page and book appointments and things. I promise you guys, because a lot of you had said I'm your therapist basically, and what's so great, and I was so happy because my therapist said that basically my role as a life coach, that I am like a notch under a therapist because I don't have that degree yet. And I don't even think I plan on it, because school and people and things, they try me and they play me, and I'm not trying to like put myself in any positions to where I gotta crack somebody else's skull. Like, y'all know what happened in the college incident. So I'm learning to stay away from triggers, okay? And then I went to the Maxwell concert, guys. I'm not even sure if I mentioned that in the beginning of this episode, but I went to the Maxwell concert. He gave me a rose, and I was one of the main characters again. And it was a solo concert, just like this Sierra concert. That was a solo concert. And the Sierra concert wasn't even planned. That was like a spur of the moment thing. I came across some tickets online and I was like, hey, why not? So that was my first solo event concert, instead of just like going out to eat by myself or whatever. That was like my first solo event, and it was pretty great. I met a homegirl and we keep in touch. We even went to a Matthew McConaughey like a poetry reading. He had like a book. It was like a play, but he was reading, chapters from his book, and he was performing it. And the musical artist that was performing his background music was John Bon Jovi. So it was a time to be had. I've been living, y'all. I'm still living. I'm going to continue to live, and I'm not going to let a man who decided to hurt me and discard me make me feel less than ever again. Because I know I'm dope as fuck, and all these people that I have encountered in my life and all these men that I have dated and was in relationships or with or whatever, they know it too. So you just missed out on a gem, and it is what it is. Some men are accustomed to basic ass bitches, and if that's what you want and that's what you require and that's what you need and that's all that you know, then by all means, I'm no longer trying to push myself on anyone. The Maxwell and the Sierra situation, where she took my phone personally and barely anybody else's, and he was giving me mad vibes. And the Maxwell concert, him giving me a rose, he gave it to a few people, but everybody didn't get it. So all of these things, and the fact that when I go out I meet lots of people and they gravitate towards me. I'm dope as fuck. My accolades, come on, who got something from Yale? Let's be for real. Not many people. Whether it was a course or a 4-year or however many year stint at that university, the fact was I have certification in the intro to psychology from Yale University. Let's say that again. Yale University. Okay? She's a whole life coach, and the fact that I have these accolades and this knowledge and this thing, I'm a very good judge of character now, and I'll call you out. The rapper, the old guy, other guys, I used to call them out, but now that I have the certification and the knowledge and the know that I'm right to call you out, you can't tell me shit. When I'm analyzing you, I'm telling you about yourself and what type of person you are, what type of person you're not, and if you're full of shit and everything else, I have the credentials to tell you that, my friend, and it is legit. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. Okay. So it is what it is. I love who I love. I loved who I loved. And I have no regrets. Either they love me back or they don't. And it is what it is. I'm no longer going to cry over spilled milk. I'll get me a new glass. Hopefully it's fresh this time. It is what it is. What else is going on? I have lost some more weight. I have been on this weight loss journey for the longest, honey, because I am an emotional eater, okay? And guys, I don't have a therapist anymore. She completely left the company that I signed up to receive a therapist with. And so I'm just winging all of this shit by myself. And I'm doing pretty well to not have one. There's my ups and my down days. There has been, I don't want to claim that as present tense, but it's a multitude of things. Single again. I don't like to be single. I love when I'm in a relationship. I'm a relationship girl. I don't like this whole single shit. I guess that's the will, but I'm not destitute. I'm not feeling lost. I'm not feeling hopeless. I'm not feeling, like unaliving myself. I'm not feeling any of those things that I used to feel when I was with that other guy and past situations and trauma and things. I'm pretty okay. Just a little, saddened because I am not with that rapper guy, and I really liked him. He displayed certain characteristics of an actual man, and I liked that. But then this shit that he's doing, it's not very manly. It's very childish. And the thing is, people think that when you ghost someone or you go give them the silent treatment or you just leave without closure, that's them protecting their peace. No, that's you not being a good person, because a genuinely good person would consider all parties involved in the situation that could potentially hurt someone physically and or mentally, and they would consider them and they would just break it off. And what the person does with it after that, that's on them. Then you can wash your hands and have a clean slate. But how could you not feel guilty? How could you sleep good at night? How could you not have a concern for someone that you claim that you loved? And many people do that. Like, they just discard people and put them on ice, or just completely never deal with them again without any closure. And I think closure I'm not going to say it's necessary, but closure definitely helps the healing process speed along. So like the guy who I used to date 20 something years ago, he finally apologized maybe about 2 years ago, and we kept in contact off and on, and I apologized for the things that I did because I cheated on him and I hurt him, and he never cheated on me. So when people say that all men cheat, they don't. There are a few good guys out here left. And yeah, so once he apologized and things like that, the closure was given, and it was like a weight off of my shoulders, because sometimes when you leave situations when you really love someone or really had like strong feelings for someone and it just abruptly ends, it hurts. And although some things need to abruptly end, the abruptness of it hurts because you weren't prepared. Even though things had led up to the demise of a relationship ending, it's just without that closure, without that apology, without that acknowledgement of how fucked up it was or the feelings that you once had, it's an uneasy feeling, you know? I just despise people who leave people with uneasy feelings and mental anguish. You're not a good person at all, because an adult and a person who is genuine and a good person, they don't leave any stone unturned, and they say their farewells, and if it's not a farewell, they work things out, whatever. But people who just leave the door open or whatever it is without even giving it a try when it was something that could be worked out, that's selfish, because you're entering someone's life and altering their being and altering their medulla, their mental state, because you know, gave them that damn dopamine and you fed them things and you made them feel good about themselves. Ultimately you should feel good about yourself, but you know, then they added on to it, and then you know, when it's just taken away, it's like, damn, who are you? That was that mask. So before you get into any type of relationship or friendship or whatever, pay attention to the red flags, because they do and say things about past relationships or what they would or might not do. I remember even with the rapper person, he was like, yeah, even if we don't talk for like a week or two or whatever, mind you, we weren't even on like the outs at that point. So I was like, why'd you say that? He was like, you know, but anything can happen. You have to pay attention to what people say, because that actually is what's happening right now. So people, there are always signs, just like the other dude. One time he was just randomly sweeping at his house, and he was like, sometimes people get what they want and it's not what they thought, something like that. And sometimes people say the most bugged out things, and then when you bring it to their attention, they don't have any recollection of it. Right, okay, right. Because sometimes when people do some, like even with one of my other exes, I used to tell him what he did. He was like, I never said that. And the crazy part is, when people deny those things, it's because the shit was so far-fetched and so out of the ordinary and so grimy that when I mention that's what you did and you deny it, that goes to show you a fucked up human being, because you couldn't even fathom yourself doing that shit, but you did it and you said it. So a lot of these things that I say about these men, they be quick to deny it. Okay, I recollect things, okay, and I might forget certain things that are like unmeaningful to me or things that are unimportant. If it's something that I recollect, honey, it hit home somehow. Either it was really good or it was really bad, and the things that hurt my feelings, I remember like a damn elephant, verbatim. Okay, but you know, people never really want to own up to their bullshit. And then I thought that the rapper guy was like cool, because I'm like, okay, anything that he did, because we're not perfect, so I forgave him for certain shit that he did that was out of line and I should not have accepted from the beginning, because it was such a new relationship. I should have been like, when I first said I wanted to break up with him in the beginning, I should have followed my mind, because oh, you doing it to me now? The fucking audacity, right? See, follow your mind, my friends. Each time I have not followed my mind, it was some fuck shit. But I also forgave him for his fuckeries, because he would apologize and you know, took heed to it, so I thought. But then when history repeats itself, you're like, okay, so you weren't genuine in your words, you weren't really taking accountability and meaning it and apologizing for a change. You're just apologizing to either A, shut me up, or you're apologizing because you genuinely meant the apology and thought that you were going to change, but you are doing the same shit that you did. And like, you know, I don't know, I'm just very turned off right now. I'm very disappointed in him, because I was telling everybody, I was telling my therapist, I'm like, this guy is doing this. I even told the ex, like, you know, sometimes, because he was trying to get back with me, and I'm like, but what's gonna change? You know, you've been doing me dirty for the past 5 years. You've been doing this disappearing act, and you condition me to be accustomed to not seeing a future with you. And a few times that I seen him a few months ago, it was just like, you know, it's not hitting like I thought it would. I used to always miss him every time he did the disappearing act, and every time he came back, I always accepted him. But this last go around of me accepting him back, and he prioritized a certain person that should never even be in the picture, but they were prioritized, and I felt like I was on the bottom of the totem pole. It was just things that it always has been, but it was heightened now. And you're letting people do certain things that they shouldn't do. It was just too much, and I'm like, you know what, I've come too far on my healing journey to go back to that. I'll never hate him or anything, but nah, I told him he's not good for my soul, he's not good for my mental well-being. And I also told him how I was talking to this rapper, and the rapper guy was great. I was bigging him up. It's a fucking rapper, shame on me. But yeah, it was basically like telling him, you know, once I tasted the sweet fruit, I no longer want the bitter. And that's just what it is. So perhaps God put this rapper in my life to completely weed out the ex from my system. Because, you know, I used to talk to my therapist and tell her, like, I'm slowly drifting away. And many a times I told her that I wanted to break up with him for the mistreatment, and he would always beat me to the punch. And another thing, he would never really break up. I think he broke up with me like one time, whatever, but still was dipping and dabbing. But it was always the, you know, disappearing act, the ghosting shit. And so I would feel stupid because I'm like, damn, I wanted to do it to him, and I wasn't gonna ghost him. I was gonna be mature about the shit, but I still had love, and I just didn't want to hurt him, and I just didn't want to let him go. So it's been brewing, and y'all see through this podcast, past and current episodes, that shit, it was brewing for years, and I've been needed to cut fucking ties with him. No good for me. And you shitting on me for an ain't shit ass bitch? Like, go ahead, that's what you want, okay, I wish you well, my friends, but it can't be with me, because you don't wish me well, clearly, by the damage you have caused. So I was ready to chuck up the deuces. And even when I did try, you know, to give it another go around, he added more insult to injury, and it just heightened again. And it was just like, you know what, man, I deserve better than this. I deserve to be prioritized, put at the top of the totem pole. I definitely don't need to be bumped under an unworthy bitch who ain't even supposed to be around in the picture like she is a baby mama. Like, fuck no. You're not about to play me a second fiddle, no fucking more. I know my worth. So when the rapper dude came along, he solidified that I was that girl, and I am that girl. So, you know, maybe sometimes people are put in your life just to put that battery in your back, and it is what it is. Do I want to be with him? Yeah. Would I like for us to work it out? Because it was nothing even that major. Like, I hung up on you because you had an attitude with me, and I was doing you a cute gesture by calling you late as fuck, because you be calling me late as fuck, and I be asleep. So I called him, and still had an attitude. And I'm like, you're not even appreciating the fact that I'm freaking breaking my sleep for you. We're in different time zones. So it's just like, I'm tired of being unappreciated. And, you know, people know when they have a great person, and if they just choose to not fuck with them, then that's their loss. I'm no longer going to try to give me to a person who doesn't appreciate it. That's just foolish on my behalf and doing myself a major disservice. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, do not do yourself a disservice. If you have someone that is, you know, isn't cherishing you, isn't loving you properly, disrespecting you and discarding you, then you know that you need to move on, whether it hurts or not. And ladies and gentlemen, on the flip side of that, if you have someone who is loving you and caring for you and there for you in your hardest fucking times of life, and you dispose of them, you really need to evaluate your character. Because guess what? You only get a person who is really willing to rock with you one time. And I've always been that one time for these men, and for people who consider me their quote unquote best friend. I've always been that friend, and these people always miss me when I'm no longer in their life. Why you don't cherish me when I'm there? And the crazy part is, I used to pride myself on, well, I had said after the other guy, because y'all know I just aired out the laundry basically on that relationship. Not all, but y'all could kind of piece things together. And I would always say in new relationships to never tell what went on in the old ones and in the previous relationships. And long and behold, this rapper person listens to my podcast, and he actually was bigging it up. He was like, I'm like a beast compared to, like, you know how rappers are beasts when they be savage with their shit. It was basically saying that's what I am with my podcast. So that made me feel really good. and he listens, or he did listen, and if he does listen, you know, I fucked with you the long way, and you let a good one go. So that's your loss. That's your loss, you know. I wish you well. So that's that. There's more to come. I have the Erykah Badu concert that I'm going to in December, and I'm also going to a concert, I think, with Babyface and Tamar Braxton. It's gonna be like a Wait and Exhale play / concert, I think. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go with my homegirl, the one that I met at the Sierra concert. So that's that, guys. My children are well. My health is well, hopefully. I haven't did a really extensive checkup in the longest. I have gone to the gynecologist, so the cookie's good. I just have to get a mammogram, and I had put that off for so long, and I'm supposed to go back to the cardiologist and get these tests, but the tests were kind of scary, so I'm like, I don't know, because I thought I was having a heart attack several times before. What was it, last year and probably the year before? I don't know. Could have just been stress, but also I think it plays a part with this punk ass vaccine, so there's that. But anyway, life has been okay. It hasn't been great, but it's been okay. And for me to be working off not having a therapist, my friend, I am doing pretty well. Oh, and let me tell y'all, my one other stupid thing that has been happening in life. My owner of the apartment I'm in, he been stealing my damn electricity for the past 5 years. I found out, we had it out, it's hashed out now, but the audacity. So, you know, there's always something in my world, right? Anyway, I took myself to the botanical gardens. I think I told you that in another previous episode. And I've been meeting great people. A lot of people have been gravitating towards me and my podcast and thanking me. And, you know, I did a video on YouTube, and y'all know I'm super animated, so wait till y'all see my videos. Go to my YouTube page. I think that's Openly Expressive. I guess you can just type up Openly Expressive, period, or maybe Openly Expressive Podcast. I'm not sure, but I'm on YouTube. Y'all can see how animated I am too. And so I did a video, and someone was like, a guy was like, this is like therapy on acid. Because I'm so animated and I was eating. I'm doing a lot of things. So check my videos out, y'all. I'm going to do video podcasts eventually, so you guys can see my animation and match my animation up to my voice. But you know, that's kind of tasking. Right now, I'm on the bed. Hair not done. Y'all know I still got this Tony Braxton haircut. It's just looking like Alf right now. It's just, I ain't even been doing my hair. I ain't been doing my nails. I ain't been doing my lashes. I ain't been doing none of that girly shit. The aesthetics ain't aestheticing. Okay? Because I've been like missing the rapper. It's crazy how I used to miss the other guy. See how I do? I just be like, okay, who's next? I just want to be loved, guys. Ultimately, just love yourself, my friends. And when you love yourself, you gravitate towards people who ultimately love you in a healthy manner. Because a lot of times we think something is love, but it's not. It's just lust or a trauma bond or a mere attraction. For me, I be thinking it's love, y'all. But clearly, it don't be a two-way street, my friends. Okay, guys, so thank you for listening. I'm not sure how long this episode is. I don't want to keep y'all forever. I do want to keep y'all forever in my life, though, but I don't want to keep y'all ears forever in one night. So I thank you for coming back. To my newbies, shout out to all of y'all, because I have some newbies, some new subscribers, listeners, some new loyals, and some oldies but goodies. I thank you all for riding this journey with me, and it has been bumpy, but I'm trying to smooth it out, y'all. I love you all, and take care. God bless. Until I chat again, I hope you are happy and you are healing, and if you are not, fix it, my friends.
Thanks for tuning in.